Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to continue our discussion on portfolio optimization. Let's have a quick review of what we have discussed so far. Okay, let's once again make use of the packages that we used last time. Of course, we use Quant Mode, QMAO, Performance Analytics, Portfolio Analytics, etc. So these are the packages that we need. Make sure that you have already installed them and loaded them. So for our data, we used these assets, this Apple, Google, Microsoft, Intel, Amazon, Netflix, and Meta, and we have learned how to use the quant mode package. We defined the start date and then the end date, and then we use we define this object called tickers. This is a character vector, and then we used it in order to get symbols, tickers, and then from is equal to start, and then to is equal to end. Okay. And then it should generate class these XTS objects, Apple, Google, up to Tesla. Okay. Starting with 2020. If we check class, let's view one of the data here, Apple. And we can see that we have open, high, low, adjusted volume, closing price, starting at uh, 0102 and then up to December 30. Okay. So I hope everybody has this. Okay. So we already did this in the past class. You can compute for the uh, RF for the return frame using the QMAO. In case you don't have it class, please refer to our first notes class, this one, where what we did in case your QMAO does not work, you could use this class. You can do that call, no? Do that call, and then you can make use of the ROC returns. Okay, these two codes that we did last time. So, but for I think for most of you, the QMAO package is working, so that's very good. Okay. All right. So what we have to do, class, we said that we're going to compute for the Sharpe ratio. And the Sharpe ratio requires that we have the risk-free rate. Now, last time, what I did was just to assume that the risk-free rate is 10%, which is wildly wildly wrong, class. Because 10% risk-free rate, that's too high. So what we're going to do is, so this is the change that we're going to do in this file. We're going to download the treasury bill, the debt government security 3 months treasury bill from the Federal Reserve. So that's what we're going to use for our risk-free rate. So I already provided you with this. Okay. Uh, now just write this code, class. I did not provide this. I want you to write it, class. So get symbols. The name is DGS, Debt Government Security 3 months, and then source is equal to Fred. And then after which let's run this class, and then maybe let's view. Let's include here view the DGS 3 months. Okay. So let's do this. Run this first. Then here it printed DGS 3MO. And then let's run this. All right. Kindly please chat, class. Kindly please chat if you were able to get the DGS 3MO. Sorry. Can you respond quickly, class, so that we don't waste time? Okay, thank you. Let's wait for the others to finish. So there are 11,687 observations because it's starting with 1981, no? 1981, 09, 01. And you can see there are some missing values, especially if these are holidays. For example, 1981. Okay, let's see. So Christmas, no? Christmas Day, 12/25, since walang office yan. Also December 1. So may mga NAs dito, no? There are NA values. Just like in stocks class, there are no weekends. Okay. All right. So let's continue, class. All right. So let's subset because the data is as compared to yung Apple data set natin, class, how many observations? Only 1507. DGS natin, class, government securities, 11,000. So of course we cannot merge them, class, kasi may disparity dun sa number of observations. So let's just subset. Let's just create this object, RFR subset. And let's subset our DGS, DGS 3MO. And then we have 2020 0101 until 2025 12/31. That's the starting and the ending date of our stocks. Although there will still be discrepancy, class, kasi wala namang 12/31 sa stocks natin, ano. I just deliberately did this para makikita natin na na may mga may magkakaroon tayo ng conflict. All right? So run this class and let's see RFR subset, class. RFR subset here. It's also an XS object and it contains 1566 entries. Apple has 1507, no? So may discrepancy tayo, no? Even if the dates were the same. And the reason for that, class, is that yung ano natin, yung risk-free rate natin, there are values on weekends. Sa stocks natin, walang values on weekends, no? Kaya yung stocks natin, yung Apple natin, 1507, itong subset natin, kahit na sinubset natin, no, more pa rin siya, 1566. Okay, kindly chat, please, if you're able to get that, class. If you understood why, if you understand why there's still a difference, even if we set the start and the end date to be the same. Kindly please chat, class, if you understand why there's a difference between the stock data, number of observations, and our and our government rates. All right. Only two, class. How about the others? Okay. All right. Thank you for responding, class. I need that for confirmation. Okay. So let's continue. Okay. This one, class, I already provided the notes to you. From now on, class, in order to save on time, if I have notes, class, I'll just provide it to you. But for the codes, some of them will not be given to you. Some of them you need to write for practice. Okay, I think I provided this. So this is just to print just to print the initial count of data points pulled. So this is the formula, the number of rows of an RFR subset. This is supposed to be the number, class. Okay. Count of missing NAs dun sa RFR subset natin. So we use the sum is NA. Let's print this, class. Okay, so we have 1566 number of observations, and there are 66 NA entries detected dito sa RFR subset natin. Okay. So what are we going to do, class? Kasi we're going to merge, no? We're going to join yung data set natin at saka yung natin yung rates natin. So we need to make sure that there are no NAs, okay? There are no missing values. So one of the ways, class, by which we can clean our data, if you take a look at RFR subset, let's take a look at it first. Ito, di ba? 1566. Okay. So there are missing values here, di ba? Sabi 66 daw. So for example, ito, class, February 17, NA to. Okay. April 10, NA din. So what's one way of what we call imputation? Imputation, class, is to fill up these missing values. Yan. We call it imputation. There are several ways to do this, class. One popular way is just to get the median of your data and then replace this by the median. So you know what median does? You get the you sort the data from highest to lowest and get the middle value, and we can substitute all this NAs with the middle value. One advantage of the imputation using the median is that the median is not class sensitive to outliers. The median is not sensitive to outlier on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. So that can be one way of imputation. Another way, class, is to get the average of the of your data. By getting the average, class, and then imputing that in your data, that will not change the average of your data, class, because you are replacing your NAs with the average. But in our case, in this time series data, one better way is what we call LOCF. Okay, LOCF stands for last observation carried forward. Now, what is this, class? So there's a missing value here on February 17. Okay. Now it's a good idea, class, to assume that this latest risk-free rate could be imputed to the next one. Okay, so it just tells us that there was no change in your risk-free rate from 214 to 217. Okay, so by substituting the NA with the last observation, class, last observation carried forward, it provides us a logical way to impute on the missing values. Okay, so how do we do that, class? Yung LOCF. This is how we do it. So we now create this object called RFR clean. I didn't give this, so you have to write this, class. And then we use this, class, NA.LOCF. NA dot last observation carried forward for the object RFR subset. Then, okay, this one, class, we write from last is equal to false. I'll explain this later, class. Yung from last is equal to false. Okay, so what will happen, class, if we do this? Let's first take a look at our RFR subset. Okay, let's take a look at this. RFR subset here. And you notice there are the first value is NA class, no? There are NAs here. Adrian, panay lagi ka na-exit, no? So NAs, marami tayong NAs, no? Including the first one. So what will happen now is that ito, no? NaLOCF tayo. From last is equal to false. Okay, I'll explain what this means. All right, so let's first run this. Okay, RFR cleaned, and then let's take a look. Okay, what happened, class? Let's see. So yung first value, NA pa rin, ano? Pero yung iba, class, let's run what we did a while ago here. Let's run this, class. Ito. Copy it here. Control V. So RFR, papalitan natin to ng RFR cleaned. Okay. So we're going to ask R to add how many NAs are in this data RFR cleaned. No? After we did LOCF, how many missing value is still remains? Okay, 1. Okay, 1. Bakit 1, class? Yung unang-una, no? Yung unang-una. Bakit hindi niya pinalitan yung class? Kasi because of this. From last is equal to false. Okay, I deliberately did this, class, para makita nyo na it did not replace the first one. Okay, so this explains, class, what's happening here. Why did we use NA.LOCF? So I said, if we take a look at the raw DGS R30 vector, maraming NAs, no? May NAs sa Christmas Day, sa New Year, because the Federal Reserve does not publish yield updates when banks are closed. Okay, so, okay, cleaning natin. Okay, let's run this. Sorry, naulit ko pala to, no? So how many rows now do we have? We still have 1566 rows. Hindi na nabago, di ba? Kasi yung ano natin, yung RFR, this one, class. Yung RFR cleaned natin, where is that? Yung subset natin is 1566. Di ba? 1566 observations to. Tapos nag-NA.LOCF tayo. So ang tanong natin, ilang observations pa rin yan? 1566 pa rin. Kasi walang tinatanggal, class. Walang tinatanggal. Pero ilan pa rin yung MA? May isa pa rin. No? Okay, so as explained here, class, yung last observation carried forward carries over the bond market yield from the preceding business afternoon to maintain continuous accounting. Okay? Now, paano yung number 1? Okay? Paano yung number 1? Okay? Naulit to, no? So ito dapat, class, no? If any NAs remain at the very start of the series, then iba-backward fill natin siya. No? Iba-backward fill natin. So mababago siya from last is equal to true. What do we mean by this, class? Kasi di ba, class, dito, let me illustrate this, no? Right. Ito, class, last observation carried forward. The problem here is that wala namang class, wala namang previous, di ba? How can there be a last observation when this does not have a previous value? So magiging NA pa rin siya. To address that, class, ang gawin natin to. No? Ito na. No? From here. Ito. RF cleaned from last, class, is equal to true. So what will happen here, class? What will happen here? Kanina nag-forward fill tayo. Ngayon magba-backward backward fill tayo. In other words, class, yung prior value niya, ito, yun ang i-impute natin dito. Unlike yung pang previous one, class, yung previous value niya, ifo-forward fill natin. Ang gagawin naman natin dito, backward fill. Ito, then yun ang i-impose natin dito, impute natin dun sa unang-una. So you see here, class, okay? Backfill natin, no? Kaya from last is equal to true. Okay? Same object pa rin. So RFR cleaned. There you go. Okay? So i-check natin, class, yung cleaned natin, ilang ano na, how many missing values? Okay? So 1566 observations and no missing values. Okay. All right. Let me seek your feedback, class, kung nakuha yung LOCF. Right. That's good. So we don't have any NAs na, no? Okay. Then what next, class? Take note that our risk-free rate, class, is reflected as a whole number, as a number 1.54. Now, Fred does not put the percentage here, but this is actually percentage, 1.54%. It's not 1.54 kasi returns to, no? Otherwise, ibig sabihin yan, 154% yung return. Daily, no? Sa isang araw, it's 154% yung ano, yung interest, yung risk-free rate. So what's missing out here, class, is the percent. So what are we going to do now? Ito na gagawin natin, class. So I already provided here the note that Fred displays interest rates as broad numbers. Okay, yung 3.5% dapat, it's just written as 3.5 and not 0.035. Now, if we fail to divide this by 100 in whatever formula we're using, then the risk-free benchmark will scale incorrectly. Okay, kasi 1.5 yan. So ibig sabihin ba ang 1.54% kasi ang 1.54 is equal to 154%. Does that mean that the return is 154%? No. So we will have, class, to divide that by 100. So here this is the steps that we're going to do. I outlined it for your review, class. So we divide by 100 to convert into yung proper, no? Yung 4.5 para maging 0.045 or 4.5%. Hindi naman i-reflect sa area na 4.5 na may percent. It will be reflected as 0.045. Okay, and then now this, class, are simple returns. Okay? Our assets are log returns. Ang risk-free rate natin simple returns. So hindi dapat consistent, class. Okay? So we learned before that you can convert your simple returns into log returns. How is that, class? How is that? Use the formula log times 1 plus yung simple returns. But then again, class, yung simple returns natin as reflected in our data is we have to divide it by 100, no? Para maging percentage siya. And then, okay, yung ano natin, class, yung rates na to, class, these are annual. Annual rates yan, yung binibigay ni ano. Lahat ng rates, class, binibigay ng pag kino-coach yan, class, unless sasabing daily, no? But these are annual rates. So then we will have to convert that into daily, no? And how do we convert that into daily? By dividing it by 252 because there are 252 trading days in a year. Okay, so we now create this daily log risk-free rate. Okay, I'm going to give you a few seconds to run this. I didn't give this to you, class. And when you're done, kindly please chat in the chat box. Okay, we're using the RFR clean. Wala na missing value yan, di ba? Good, thank you. Okay, how about the others? Okay, are there any questions so far, class? Okay, I hope clear to class. Huh? So this is what we did not do last time. And I said that this is an opportunity to learn this kasi ang ginawa natin last time was just to assume the risk-free rate to be 10% pa nga ginamit natin eh. Although we divided by 252, no? Pero that's very unrealistic. So here, nag-ano talaga tayo, nag-download talaga tayo ng data ng risk-free rate na 3 months, no? Treasury bills na 3 months. And then, since they are broad numbers sila, ang ginawa natin, kinonvert muna natin, no? And then, since simple returns yun, ano? Ginawa natin log return siya. Kasi yung returns natin sa mga assets natin, ang ginagamit natin, log returns. Diba? So, log times 1 plus yung simple returns na to, divide by 100. And then we convert it to daily returns. Kasi annual to eh. So if I run this class, ito yung magiging daily log returns natin. Yeah. Okay. You can now see that they're very, very small kasi daily siya, no? Daily returns yan. Okay. So, what do we do now, class? Let's just change the name. Mahaba yung name nito, no? DGS3MO pa rin yung sa, ano natin, sa returns. Let's make it names or call names ng daily log RFR to be RF, ano na lang, RFR dash na lang, class. Para consistent mamaya, no? RFR dash daily. Kasi mamaya gagamitin din natin yung ano eh. Yeah. I'll just use RFR dash daily. Okay, and see, class, what happens here? Ayun, RFR dash daily na. No? Okay, once again, class, I'll pause and request your feedback if you're able to follow along. Nakuha niya yung daily log risk-free rate, class. We were able to get the risk-free rate from the debt government security na 3 months. Tapos cleanin natin siya. Lahat ng mga NAs, nag-LOCF tayo. Yung first value, hindi naman tayo pwede mag forward fill nun kasi wala naman siyang previous value. So nag-backward fill tayo. Yung date, yung value na after that NA, okay, binackfill dun sa sa NA yung missing value na yan. Okay, so are we clear so far, class? Kindly feedback, please. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, good. All right, so let's continue now. So let's just print, class, yung yung first 5 observations at saka last 5 observations ng natin, ng daily ret, no? First 5 yung head, last 5 yung tail. Hanggang 12:31. Dito hanggang 1:1. Now this is very important kasi, class, yung sa returns natin, no? Nagsimula tayo sa 01, 02 yata, no? Okay. So now class, let's construct done na tayo class, may returns object na tayo. Meron tayong risk-free rate. I-construct na natin yung portfolios natin. Yung portfolio number 1 is yung non-rebalanced. Portfolio number 2 is rebalanced. Okay, I don't think I gave this class, so that's very easy because we have done this in the past. So let's now create this code chunk. Ang pangalan niya portfolio construction. Okay, pwede natin non-rebal. Okay, kalimutan ko kasi in-split ko to eh. Control C, you could name this rebal. No? Very important class yung pag-name ng although I don't pay much attention to it, but in practice, this is very important. Para later on, when you're reviewing your code chunks, it's easy for you to look for kung asan class yung yung mga code chunks na to. So remember, this will become part of your indices. Okay, nasa index siya. Okay, so let's create this class. Ito pwedeng combine. No? Okay, anyway, I'll leave you class to just to highlight that these are very important for let's say checking your work later on. Kasi kung masyado nang marami siya, no? Okay. All right, let's run this class. Ito muna yung port 1 ret natin. We're using the return.portfolio. Okay. Let's double check class muna yung returns natin. Tingnan natin. Returns object here, XTS. Ano ba laman ng returns object natin class? Ayan, yung mga returns, log returns ni Apple. So it starts at January 3, no? There are 1506 observations. Yung natin, 1566 observations. So medyo may discrepancy, no? Yung mas marami yung daily log returns natin sa risk-free rate. We'll deal with that later. Okay. All right. So let's create this number 1 port 1 ret, no? Click this port 1 ret, equally weighted 8 assets, 1/8 each of the assets. Okay. We're using the portfolio return.portfolio. This is from portfolio analytics class. So what will happen is that we'll have this object port 1 ret, and it's 1 column. No? Where did this come from class? Yung mga assets natin kanina sa returns, lahat ng 8 assets natin, we're going to multiply each of them by 1/8. Or we're just going to get the average of that kasi equally weighted naman siya. Okay? If you get the average of that, this is what you get. Yan. This is what you get class for your port 1 ret. So this is no rebalancing. Ano yung no rebalancing class? We said that this is buy and hold strategy. So you let the assets expand, you let it grow by themselves. Okay? Unlike yung rebalancing class, for one reason or another, we don't want some of the assets to grow out of proportion. Kasi gusto natin there are reasons why you would want the assets to be equally weighted. Siguro yun ang that's the nature of that portfolio. Mas gusto nila na equal lang lagi yung weights ng mga assets. Okay? So that will be the next one here, class. Monthly rebalanced. So here we rebalance now on months. Okay? Rebalance now on months. Same object, yung returns natin. Port 1 ret rebalance versus port 1 ret to. Ang naiba lang dito class, rebalance on months. So let's run this. Okay, if you now check this port 1 ret, rebalance class, here. Ganun pa rin, 1506 observations. But this time, the returns will be different, especially Okay? Yung first month returns, pare-pareho yan. Pero class, after the first month, so what will happen on rebalancing, i-check yung mga market values nila, i-check yung mga weights, tapos, sa rebalancing class, i-change ulit yung yung weights ng ng mga assets so that they also become again, they become equally weighted. Okay. Kasi, uh, that's why there's rebalancing. Let me just close yung mga ibang Okay. All right. Then let's combine class into one. C-bind natin class. All portrait. By the way, class, you notice class, yung port 1 ret natin, yung column name niya, portfolio.returns, pati itong si port 1 ret rebalance, ang niya, column name, portfolio.returns. So, pay particular attention class to the column names. No? Kasi when we combine that class, ano mangyayari? Ito nag-C-bind tayo, no? Or minerge natin si port 1 ret at saka port 1 ret rebalance. Ito, babaguhin natin yung name. Kasi kung ito lang class, okay, let's just run this one. All port ret 1, all port 1 ret pala. All port 1 ret. Okay. Tingnan natin class. All port 1 ret. Tingnan yung column names. No? Portfolio returns at saka portfolio.returns 1. Okay, so it's not that intuitive. Okay, sandali lang class ha. Wait a minute. Okay, class, sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to change natin class yung yung column names na lang for clarity. Okay, column names sa all portrait 1, none, let's just use dash, no? Non-rebalance, tas monthly dash rebalance. Kasi later on I'll show you kasi bumabalik siya sa dot eh. So gawin na lang natin non-dash rebalance, monthly dash rebalance. So let's run this. And then let's take a look at all port ret 1. All port 1 ret pala, sorry. This one. There you go, non-rebalance at saka rebalanced. Okay, I'll close some of the ang dami. Okay, kindly confirm class if you were able to get it. Kindly chat, please. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're going to combine class. We have, ano yung data natin? Meron na tayong all port ret 1. At saka we also have your daily log returns. No? Ito. Ayan, di ba? So we want to combine them into one data set. Okay? Ang si daily log risk-free rate 1566 observations, yung all port ret 1 natin is 1506. Okay? So we have to do something about it, class. So now what will happen here, class? Ibig sabihin ng class, may mga dates sa ano natin sa log returns sa risk-free rate na wala dun sa it's not in your wala dun sa sa portfolio returns, no? Kasi 1506 lang siya. Yung sa risk-free rate natin 1566. So what will happen there, class, is that we have to match, no? Hindi tayo pwedeng maglagay ng data from returns sa risk-free rate na wala dun sa sa returns natin. So how do we do that? So we're going to use what we call joins, no? Okay, ito. I gave you this class, these notes, no? So that we can accurately calculate the Sharpe ratio, dapat naka-align yung natin, class, yung equity natin, yung portfolio natin with the yung risk-free rate, class. So we can use what we call a inner join. Okay? Inner join, class. What will happen is that si inner join, class, ang gagawin niya, titingnan niya yung rates titingnan niya yung data ni portfolio returns natin. Tapos it will make sure na what will only be included are those dates that have the data of your equity returns, no? So ang mangyayari dun sa risk-free rate, tatanggalin niya yung wala dun sa equity rates. So, okay, tingnan niyo to, class, no? So we're creating this object called combine data. Okay, we're going to merge si all port ret 1 at saka si daily log RFR, and then itong join, class, join is equal to inner. Okay, what do you mean by this, class? Yung inner join. It will first take a look at this all port ret 1. So the order here is very important. Kung mauna yung daily log RFR, ang magpe-prevail, class, yung daily log RFR. So which means that magkakaroon ng 1566 observations, class. Tapos yung wala sa equity, magkaka-NA lang siya. Okay? So here, sabi natin, unahin yung all port ret 1, ibig sabihin, class, ang i-include lang niya yung 1506 observations. And then, i-prepare siya kay daily log RFR. Okay? So that there will definitely be only 1506 observations. Mag-experiment kayo, class, ibaliktad nyo yan, no? Unahin nyo yung si daily, si mamaya in a while. Tingnan natin to, no? So let's do this, class. Combined data. And let's check, let's view combined data. Combined data. Yan. Tingnan natin, control enter. Alright, tingnan nyo, class. How many observations? 1506 observations. What does that mean, class? Yung mga data na wala, na meron dun sa daily log returns natin, ito yung class, di ba? 1566 observations. Okay? Gino-join natin siya with dito si kay all port threat 1. So all port threat 1, only 1506 observations. When we combine this using the inner join class, okay? Okay, or in fact, left join. Yung inner join class is the intersection, no? Intersection. So, pwede ring left join ang magpe-prevail class yung all port threat 1. Here we use the inner join, which means dapat yung common sa pareho, no? Common sa pareho. Alright? So, let's copy this class. Copy natin to. Bilangin natin, class, kung may mga NA values dito. Ito na lang, itong buong to, class. Control C. Let's go here. Always count, class. Here. And then, palitan natin ng combined data. Control C. There. Then run natin to. Okay. So how many observations? 1506 and then no missing values. Okay, let me pause for a while, class, and may question pala dito. Okay, may question dito. Pwede pa ulit why need mauna yung all port threat 1? Mauna yung all... okay. Dito, sorry let me clarify. Kasi inner join pala ginamit ko dito. Ano? Pag inner join, class, it doesn't matter kung ano mauuna. No? Kasi ang pag inner join, class, yung intersection, what's common to both. Pag left join, yun ang magmamatter, class, kung ano yung mauuna, no? Pag left join kasi, titingnan mo yung left na table. Yan ang magpe-prevail. So, let's do this. Sige, class, gawin natin to for experiment, no? Okay. Here. Control C. Copy natin to, class. Let's call this combined data 1. And pagbalik ta rin natin to, class. Ito. Control X. Okay. By the way, thank you so much, Jillian, for that question. Merge. Okay. Yeah, comma. All right. So here, class, I changed the order, no? I changed the order. View combined data 1. Tingnan natin, class, kung ano mangyayari. Will there be a difference, class? Yung inner kasi, class, what will happen is that pag inner join, class, yung intersection nila. In other words, ganito yung class. No? Okay, let me just illustrate that. So this is kanina yung all port threat 1 natin, no? Tapos ito yung daily log return natin. What will prevail, class, is the intersection. Yung common sa dalawa. Since ang all port threat 1, 1506 lang siya, observations, ito 1566. Therefore, alam natin, class, what's common to both will at least, class, at most 1506 yun. No? And then we found out, class, that since si returns, class, everyday meron siya, no? everyday meron siya. Si equity returns class, si risk-free rate everyday, except for holidays, no? Meron siyang data. So meron siyang Sunday, meron siyang Saturday, Sunday. Si ano naman, si equity returns, wala siyang weekends, wala siyang Saturday, Sunday. Wala rin siyang uh, holidays, no? Okay. So kung nabaliktad to class, ito, no? Nabaliktad siya, pareho lang din kasi ang titingnan natin intersection eh. Yung intersection class ang ano. Ngayon, magmamatter yung class kung left join ang ginamit natin. As I review for you class, no? I want you to, sige, gawin na nga natin ngayon para baguhin natin to class, no? Copy natin, Control C, Control V, no? All right. Ibalik natin to. Control X. Okay. So ito all portrait, tapos left join. Pag left join class, ang magpe-prevail, ito yung masusunod, si all portrait 1. Let's call this 2. Ito left, no? Left na lang para ano. Left class. Now, tingnan natin class, ilan matitira dito class? Since ang magpe-prevail nito all portrait 1, si all portrait 1 red class 1506 observations, no? So ang magpe-prevail, ang masusunod yung nasa left, si all portrait 1. So i-run natin. View natin ilan. Ilan class, oh? 1506 observations, no? So kinumbine class, si all portrait 1 at saka si RF daily, kinumbine siya. Okay, pero 1506 observations. Okay. Now, pagpalit natin class, no? Ito gawin natin. Copy niya to. Control C, Control V. Ang nasa left class, itong daily log returns. Left join natin. Left join. Okay. Gawin ko itong left 2. Left 2. Tapos left 2. Okay. So ito, magkaiba ng order, ano? Ang nauna si daily log risk-free rate. So siya yung magiging basis. So 1566 siya. Si all portrait 1, ano lang, 1506. So, if you take a look at this class, sino yung ano, ilan yung magiging combined, mali ito, kulang to. Control C. Okay, tingnan lang natin class, no? Run. Tingnan yung class, 1566. 1566 observations. Ang nag-prevail class yung nasa kaliwa. Okay? Si risk-free class, 1566 observations eh. So lahat ng dates kay risk-free ilalagay. Paano yung walang value ng equity class? NA lang siya. Yan. NA lang. Yan, no? Kita niyo mga NA, ibig sabihin walang value ng equity returns yan. Kasi either Saturday, Sunday, or siguro holiday, etc. Okay, did that answer your question, Jillian? I hope it did, no? So importante yung mga joins class, because of joins class, you're putting together tables. We're merging tables. So, kasi ito din i-discuss ko sa FinStud, in a subject called FinStud, din i-discuss ko itong mga joins kasi it's all about data structures. Okay. Clear so far, class? Paki-feedback naman, please. Kung paki-chat lang sandali, ha? Again, class, pag nag-comment kayo, please, to everyone, no? Kasi nag-a-adjust pa ako, no? If it's not to everyone, mag-a-adjust ako eh. So it takes me time, class, no? So once again, pag nag-comment kayo, pag nag-question kayo, please address it to everyone. so that we can save on time. Okay, comment please. Okay, how about the rest, class? Clear ba? Okay, so good. So nag-increase lang tayo ng ano no ng okay. So balikan natin combined data natin. Yung combined data natin, class. Tingnan nyo, pag nagko-combine ng data, nag-iba na naman yung column name, none.rebalance. Okay. So just to be consistent, gawin lang natin tong ano, i-ano natin, no? Let's change ang column names ang combined data, none dash monthly dash and RF daily. Okay? So that our combined data, I don't know if I gave this to you. Combined data natin. Combined data. Okay, yan, nabago na class yung ano. Nabago na yung ano natin. Alright? And then let's run class. Ito, I think I gave this to you. Let's run kung ilan yung ano missing values. 1506 observations and then 0 missing values. Okay. Alright. So, sige. Matatapos natin to class, no? Are we on the same page so far, class? Are you here? Na ano ba, napakita natin na 1506 observations tayo, 0 missing values. Dun sa combined data natin. Kindly please, feedback. Okay, good. Alright. Okay, so let's now, dito na, mag-compute tayo class ng risk ng ano ng Sharpe ratio, no? Sharpe ratio natin class, so let's create now this table. Let's call it annualized table. We're going to use the function table.annualized returns. So this is from your portfolio analytics. Okay? So tingnan nyo na lang class kung ano yung ginagawa ng function na to, no? So kailangan natin class yung data natin, yung combined data natin. What is our combined data? Ito, class. Ito, no? Di ba? Non-rebalanced, monthly rebalanced, at saka yung RF daily natin. And then we have to define ano yung ano natin, class. Ano yung risk-free rate natin? Our risk-free rate is, wait. Bakit ito ginamit ko? No? Meron naman tayo dito sa combined data natin. Sandali class, ha? Let me see. RF. So dapat naka-separate yung ano, wait ha. Ito muna class. Let's just use this first. Oops. Asan na yan? Undo, asan yung undo? Okay. I will have to check this class. Pero dito ang ginamit ko class. So there's this object, di ba? May separate na object itong daily log risk-free rate. Yan. Okay. So I'm going to use it here class. R recognizes this. Hindi ko na check class kung sa combined data. No? I'll check that first. And then scale natin 252 class, which means daily. Yung data natin is daily. Kaya ang gagawin ni R dyan, i-convert niya kasi annualize yung ano natin, yung ano natin, yung pag-compute. And then i-print natin. Okay? So let's do this class. Print natin siya class. All right. What do you have here, class? All right. Ito yung non-rebalance natin. Annualized return niya, 14%. Annualized standard deviation, 33%. Si monthly rebalance natin, ang annualized return niya is 16%. Annualized standard deviation is 30%. So here you can see that rebalancing made produced better returns, no, average returns, and less risky standard deviation. Okay? And then of course, the Sharpe ratio, class, mas mataas yung returns mo, mas mababa yung risk mo. Definitely mas maganda yung Sharpe ratio natin. Kasi if you recall, class, what Sharpe ratio? Sharpe ratio is nabigay ko ba dito yun? It's on the other side, class. I-transfer nyo lang dito, no, yung formula ng Sharpe ratio nyo. Okay? Nasa first notes na binigay ko. Sharpe ratio is yung returns natin, okay, minus your risk-free rate. Okay? This is what you call your excess returns, and then divide by the standard deviation. Of course, class, what happens when your numerator is higher, your denominator is lower, then ito pareho no? Numerator higher, denominator lower, then of course your Sharpe ratio will be higher. This happens, class, this is very important when the annualized return is higher, but the standard deviation is higher also. Kasi we want the standard deviation to be lower. Okay, so pag ganyan, class, which is the better one here? Ano ibig sabihin ng 0.344 dito? 0.34. Over 1 yan. Ito 0.44 over 1. So pareho silang ina-assume na risk. Kasi dinivide natin ng risk ng standard deviation. So sa non-rebalance, class, for every 1 unit of risk, there's a corresponding 0.34 average return. Sa monthly rebalance, for every unit of risk, there's 0.44 average returns, no? Okay? So this Sharpe ratio will become really very important if yung isa mas mataas yung return tapos mas mataas yung risk niya. Doon natin makikita kung sinong mas maganda sa dalawa. Okay? So itong risk-free rate kinompute lang. So 2.0488 as here, pinakita dito, no? Ang average risk-free rate for this period, yung 2020 up to 2025, is 2.8%. Okay? All right. Then last class, umabot tayo dito sa visualization. Okay, I just want to show this, class. Oops. I already provided the code, class, para to save on time. Okay, here. Tingnan nyo to, class, no? So this is comparing yung natin, non-rebalance at saka monthly rebalance. Okay, tingnan muna natin, class. Chart that cumulative returns. So this is from portfolio analytics, no? Chart that cumulative returns. Yung all portrait one natin. Then let's give it a title, main, may subtitle. Let's label the x-axis, the y-axis. Color set, dark blue. Line width, 2.5. Lagyan natin ng legend. Nasa top left. Pwedeng baguhin to. Tapos wealth.index is equal to true. So if we run this, class, you can see. Ayan. Kita nyo, no? Can modify that. This is the difference now between okay, tingnan nyo, class. The difference between your non-rebalance at saka yung monthly rebalance. Yung non-rebalance natin yung blue. Ayan. Tapos yung rebalance natin yung orange. You notice, class, that at certain points, yung non-rebalance, class, performed better. Yung cumulative returns yan, no? Why? Because at certain, kunyari ito, 2022 after COVID na to, no? There were some assets that were really performing well. So, pag hindi natin balance, mag-aano yung class? It will surge really ahead, yung mga higher performing assets. Okay? But in some areas, class, hindi. No, mas maano yung monthly rebalance. So what I did here, class, was take a look at this, class. Naglagay ako dito ng ng pointers, no? So I want you to read this. Yan. Ano nangyari nung 2020 tech boom? Okay? Ano nangyari nung 2022 Fed tightening to 2022 dito, no? You can see what happened. When inflation soared and interest rates rose, ano nangyari? Hyper-growth tech crashed heavily, class. Si hypertech, no? Nag-crash heavily siya. So, what happened, class? The non-rebalanced portfolio had become unsafely concentrated in this exact high beta winners. It suffered a much deeper drawdown. Meanwhile, the monthly rebalanced portfolio, okay, continuously took profits. So, saan siya banda? Saan banda yun? Here? Ito yung drawdown, ito bumabagsak yung mga yung mga non-rebalance yung mga high-tech bumagsak, no? Okay, so try to spend some time here, class. By the end of 2025, tingnan nyo na lang kung ano yung, and try to make some heads or tails of this. All right? So let me stop recording.